This is a short video about how to test your older Ford EGR solenoid vacuum valve. Depending on what manual you are reading, it is listed differently, but it is basically an electrical controlled valve. And like most valves, there is an open and closed situation. Unlike some other makes, this valve, as shown, comes with the valve always opened. Originally, when I tested my 2000 Ford Explorer, the coil was sound, but I couldn't get it to seal when I sucked on either port. After all, I went online and checked all the sites that talked about this vacuum control valve. None of the sites mentioned testing to make sure it could seal in one direction, except for one of them. This guide showed that if you place the vacuum on either tubing connection, it should seal. Well, he failed to mention that Fords do not seal. They may once energize, but normally they don't seal. Take a look at the close-up and you'll notice that the spring is holding open the plug that should seal it. This caused me to purchase a new valve from Ace Ford in New Jersey, when there was actually nothing wrong with mine. So this video is so you don't make the same mistake I did. Why the auto manufacturers added this valve makes no sense, because the original design back in the 60s, from what I recall, there was no solenoid valve in between the EGR and the vacuum source. The vacuum came directly from the intake manifold. Now, it could be that it was added ever since fuel injection. There may not have been the same vacuum source, or they simply needed to control the EGR opening and closing more tighter. So anyway, the only thing you need to check is to make sure the solenoid coil isn't burned open, which probably happens when you sit for long periods listening to the radio. That coil gets hot and burns, whereas while moving, that valve opens and closes, giving it time to cool off. Those wires on the coil are thinner than hair. The only other thing to check on the EGR is for a tear on the diaphragm or soot buildup that can prevent it from opening and closing. But EGRs pretty much last a very long time. I've rarely ever seen them go. Thank you for watching. Visit us at Larry and Jane for more great ideas.